Hello, Dallas Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Cowboys Blog. I'm John Madden, and now let's get to today's topic.
Highway?
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about some surprise cuts that could be coming later today. Camp cuts, roster cuts, whatever you want to call it. Boom. All right. So it's that time of year, final preseason game to end the preseason and thrust us one day closer to the regular season. I've got to say that the questions that I had coming into the draft, I have a lot of questions still about this roster. The draft didn't really, it didn't do much for me, man. You know what I mean? Like this draft has some potential, but I still have a lot of questions about the roster. You know what I mean? As far as like, is this going to be a running back committee? It kind of looks like it's going to be. And we know that has never fared well in Dallas. Dallas has a tradition here to always have a bell cow, to have that legit guy, whether it was Tony Dorsett, Emmitt Smith, DeMarco Murray, Ezekiel Elliott. There have been those running backs that were significant parts of the success during those era of Cowboys over the last 30 years, right? So in the last 2 or 3 seasons, they've been playing with the position and it's been burning them. So, I have a lot of questions about this roster. The edge rush, we'll see what happens with Micah and this whole silly dramatics that's going around here with his contract. You know what I mean? Cowboys will end up losing either way. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to fall. Let's see how bad we're gonna lose on this. So the other part about it, obviously, cornerback depth still a question. They wasted a pick on Siobhan Revel. Probably need to redshirt him. How is he gonna look if he comes back from IR? Are they gonna let him play this season? And then you have just some dudes. Fowler, Sam Williams, Knucklehead, the rookie Donovan Ezeraku. We've done the case study on a rookie edge rusher, what his rookie season would be. How much impact? It's not going to be a lot of big impact from him. All right. So still a lot of questions around the Cowboys here. Your backup quarterback, you know what I mean? There was a lot of hype. There was a lot of early excitement about Joe Milton. And that has looked like the clock has hit midnight there. That is he is a project. You know what I mean? Now it's about how much more do the Cowboys want to invest in that. One thing that I am noticing, and like I've said this before on some of the live streams and some other videos here, the foundation that Parcells brought here in 2003, as far as like tightening up and buttoning up the scouting department, free agency, these types of moves have been eroded over the years. It started good here, and we're back to being eroded here. We're back to taking crazy draft picks for quarterbacks. Remember when we were doing that? We were wasting picks on Drew Henson's, Chad Hutchinson's, these types of. We're back at it, dude. We are back at it. So, and our free agency is terrible again. Drafting has fallen off. It has fallen off, right? We gotta be real about it. You have a pick here or there that are okay, but a lot of these draft classes are thuds. They haven't been good, so they've lost their way. It's all eroded back to pre-Parcells, and that's you're getting into the area of Dave Campo. You know what I mean? And then you bring in Schottenheimer, who to me reminds me of a mix of a Dave Campo, Garrett type of puppet. You know what I mean? It's a puppet. So we'll see how this season plays. Let's get to some surprise roster cuts. Okay, the first one I'm going to go with the elephant in the room, Mozzie Smith. You know what I mean? Keep or not to keep him? You keep him. Is he more of a detriment to you? I think he is. You cannot put him in the starting lineup as your starting one tech, get driven back 10 yards, convert a first down, convert short yardage situations, doesn't gobble up double teams. You can beat him one-on-one. You know what I mean? Even a running back, fullback, tight end can chip him. Like it's not there for him. So I'm saying it's a surprise cut because you've had him for 2 seasons here and it looks like a complete bust again. Is he a bigger bust than Taco Charlton? I think he is, man. At least Taco showed some flashes, dude, and had some sacks a few games in preseason, even in the regular season. Mozzie has shown nothing, absolutely nothing. So Mozzie Smith, one of my surprise cuts. Okay, and then they're going to move on. JT will be elevated to your number 1, and maybe they bring in another defensive tackle on the waiver wire or trade. Okay, Cowboys are probably going to be busy here in some sort of way. Some teams are starting to make trades now for where they're having some deficiencies, where they see some problems on the roster. For the Cowboys, however, we just have too many of them. You're taking on a lot of water. You have a lot of holes in the ship, and you can't plug enough of the holes up. So we're taking in a lot of water right now. If we're being honest with ourselves, it is what it is, right? Another possible roster cut surprise for me is going to be Israel Mukuamu. Okay, he's been battling out, in that nickel position. He can give you some flex as well. I just think his time has run out here. It's time to give another one of these. It's time to give another young guy here a shot here. And I think whether it's, Keemon Hall or Childress or somebody else of this caliber, an up-and-coming player, a younger player, somebody that this regime has invested in. And I think Israel could be the odd man out, man. So I think he could be a surprise cut. All right. Next, Jalen Tolbert, the wide receiver. Now, I understand that Jonathan Mingo is going to be out. He's going to be a short-term IR. But there's the rumors. The rumors that, they're using him for trade bait. Do they package him with a pick to get somebody else? Another position, maybe your defensive tackle. Maybe a cornerback, somebody like that. And if that's the case, then I think that they probably do feel better about, 1 or 2 of these other guys behind him. Whether it's, maybe they feel good about, keeping Jalen Brooks. Trayshawn Holden has looked like he looks promising. Can you sneak him through the cuts? If you feel like you can't, you gotta finesse the numbers, and one of them might be that Jalen Tolbert either gets traded or he gets cut. You know what I mean? So either way you cut it, that number 3 wide receiver and below, I don't see them being big contributors. They might have like a catch or 2 per game, because your main guys are going to be Lamb, Pickens, your tight end, right? And probably your running backs out of the backfield. That number 3 receiver, more of a decoy, more of a a player that's going to, just get in the way, a pick, a pick play, get away with it. So I don't see much from that, So Jalen Tolbert could be one of those surprise cuts for me. All right, so the other player that could be a surprise cut for the Dallas Cowboys is going to be Miles Sanders. Right? I feel that they've already pretty much crowned Javonte Williams as that, your number one running back, your vet guy. They want a vet presence there with Dak Prescott for sure. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to thrust a rookie in there right out the bat. So this isn't Dak and Zeke. They don't really have a player of that caliber like a Zeke. One of the best pass blocking running backs in the league that has come out in recent years, right? Top end elite pass blocking from Ezekiel Elliott. He could do it his rookie year. These other guys, not so much. They still got a lot of work to do. So Javonte Williams, your number one. So then after that, the discussion is, Jadon Blue. They've been letting him heal up. Supposedly he's going to play in this final preseason game. So he's in the mix. Obviously, he makes the team, right? They like the speed. They kind of compare him a little bit to Tony Pollard, which I don't think is fair. Tony Pollard was a special player, a very reliable player. I loved Tony Pollard. I thought he was a great running back for us, and I hated to see him leave. But the injury, kind of took away from him. Took away some of that juice from him, honestly, and then obviously age. Pollard had been here almost as long as Zeke, so you have him, and I don't think they're going to go very deep at running back. So I have 3 running backs making this team, so, and I think Sanders could be the odd man out as a surprise cut. So you got, in this situation, it would be Javonte Williams, Jadon Blue. And then the third running back, it better be Phil Maffa, bro. It better be Phil Maffa. Phil Maffa, to me, he reminds me of Gus Edwards, who was a Cowboy. Cowboys cut him. He later found his career with the Ravens. Very productive, very reliable running back. Had size, had physicality. It just needed a little bit of time to develop. And I think if the Cowboys have more patience here with Maffa, they will get a Gus Edwards type of running back. Somebody who you can rely on carrying the ball, can move the chains, short yardage, you know what I mean, and be versatile for you. So, and then get stronger faster in year 2. So I'm looking to keep Maffa and Jadon Blue, and then those 2 rookies, go to battle with Javonte Williams, and the other guys, they're gone. Sanders, I think, will be that surprise cut, and hopefully we have seen the last of Deuce Vaughn. I don't even want to bring him back on the practice squad. You can find a better running back in the waiver cuts. Okay? Get a diamond in the rough, somebody who has some size, some speed, somebody that can catch the ball, somebody of this nature, of that stature, not 5'5". All right. So, guys, let me know who your surprise potential cuts could be during this cycle of the roster cuts. Let me know who might be a surprise cut for you in the comments. I'm interested to know who you guys think could be amongst some of these surprise cuts. That happens every year. So let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you for the next one, guys. Peace.
Yeah, old school, baby.